Hello and welcome to a team update post the first round of practice games. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. So for today, I'll just go over how my team is shaping up, what it looks like, and what I'm weighing up over the next week or so, and then we'll do the final team reveal in about 8 or 9 days, something like that. So yeah, season's very, it's near us now, so very exciting. But I think the practice games, I watched not all of them from front to back, but I watched probably 70% of the whole lot. So watched a fair bit, and yeah, a few things jumped out. But I think with these practice games, for me, I'm mostly looking for the role and the health of the players, and yeah, just seeing also the players shifting around other players. So for example, Ed Richards, I kind of liked, but it looks like Hayden Crozier went back, took Daniel's role, took some kick-ins, so it makes sharing, like, it hurts Dale as well. So for the Dogs defenders, I'm not sort of keen on that. So sort of things like that I was looking out for. But yeah, also I had Hayden Young. I wasn't impressed with his performance, but it was only a practice game, and now his next game will be without Luke Ryan. So for me, I'm not willing to go there because I don't know exactly what's going on in that defense. So that's a pass for me, but I still think he's still in my top 12 defenders. Tom Mitchell, he was in one of my drafts probably a month or two ago, but it sounds like he's a no-go this year. And probably the ones that jumped out, probably Errol Gordon. Probably almost the main one, I think, because he had the CBAs, but Mills' CBAs were really poor, so you think that flips somewhat, but 83 average on 10% CBAs last year. So he doesn't need a whole lot to push the 100, maybe like a 40% he could do it, so not too sure, but it sort of screams like a Butters third-year breakout with Gordon, but you know, he is good at half forward, so maybe they keep him there a lot. It just depends on his mid minutes, and I'm not sure we'll ever know with Horse from just in 2 practice games. So that was another one. Tanner Bruin was pretty good, but weak opposition, and also Jack Bowes, who we'll touch on soon. So yeah, a few things I want to watch, but yeah. So I think the strategy here, I'm going fairly light down back. So D1, I have Nick Dacos. I've settled that if I am picking a 600k defender, it will be Jordan Dawson. But yeah, I liked Nick Dacos' game on the weekend. A few mixed reports about it, but I think the main thing I saw was the intent to constantly want to receive the ball. That's what we saw last year, a bit more mid-time. Carlton's midfield is very, very tough, really strong contested ball-winning midfield, even without Walsh. So for a, 20 years old, it's always going to be a tough ask. So I don't know who they're playing this week, but we'll see how he goes if he gets more mid-time. But yeah, he looked really good off half-back, looked okay in the middle, but I'm sure that will improve and he'll be one of the best in the comp at some point. But even this year, I think he'll be really good and score. I think he can push 100 this year. So he's in for now. Elliot Yeo, I think, yeah, I was skeptical on this one, but I think he's a lock. He looked unreal. And yeah, a healthy Elliot Yeo is a scary prospect for other teams. So he's in. Now, the next few positions are very much up in the air. And I think it's very important to nail these. So I don't have Jack Bowes at the moment because Big Footy said that he might have a calf complaint, but that's Big Footy, so don't take that as gospel, but we'll find out if he actually plays this week. So that might explain why he was taken off halfway through the second period in his practice game against Hawthorn, so he's not in for now, but this guy's fairly low owned, but yeah, I've got Hayden Crozier. Now, I don't know if he's a sub-risk, he might be, but it looks like he's taken Daniel's role down back, and his VFL numbers are really good. I think pushing 100 average, there might have been an injury game in there, but yeah, pushing 100 average in the VFL. Early in the season, he had like a heart issue, so I don't know if that affected him. So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, he was on kick-ins with Richards and Dale, and I think he took more than Richards, but I'm not sure if he took more than Dale. But I'd imagine Dale would be the main guy, so he's there for now. But yeah, just very up in the air about this one. So he's kind of just a filler. I got Caulfield. Apparently he was really good in the second half. Or he played in the twos. In the second half of the twos game, apparently he was best on ground from what I read. I did not watch that. I did not watch a lot of the second period, like the two stuff. Maybe I should have, but yeah, I just didn't think it was worth it. But yeah, we'll get an idea if he's best 22 or not. The talent is there, and he looks fit, so we'll see how that goes. Next one I have is Ruben Jinby. He did not play. He had a toe injury. but supposed to play this week. And yeah, the reports out of West Coast are pretty hard to ignore. Like one of the standouts on the track. See his role, see how he goes at the level, high owned. So yeah, I'm still not sure, but it's hard to ignore the hype around him. The next player I have is Connor McKenna. I am not sure on Connor McKenna. I thought his performance was fairly poor. Offensively, he looked rusty. He looked like a guy who had missed 3 years of footy or whatever it is. So yeah, his ownership's dropped. I think that was fairly higher than 39. So he's definitely one where you need to give him another go. So see how he goes this week. So he might come out if he's not good next week and not best 22. But if he is named in the best 22, I think I'll pick him because the role should be a halfback, which is good at the price. And he's done 80 in the past. I'm not sure he does that at Brisbane, but regardless, he's very, very cheap. So the next player that I have is Constable, and I actually have him on field. So Ginby's on the bench, so don't love that, but for now it's okay because it's still pre-season. And then the other one I have, I can't remember. I think Cowan, I'm not sure. Might have been Chesser. Either way, we'll put Cowan there for now. It doesn't really matter too much. So I think that's the defense. I think, yeah, Yo's durability issues. Crozier, I don't know if he's sub-risk or confirmed best 22, but he did play in the ones. Coffield is your best 22. I think Constable will start, and you have to pick him if he starts. And then McKenna, I think you probably should pick him if he starts. So a few job security issues here. And is McKenna a sub-risk? I don't know. So that's something that we'll decide this week, hopefully, or get a better read on. So that's the idea. If Jack Bowes is healthy and the room of the calf is rubbish, then he looks pretty good. But yeah, it's against Hawthorn, so yeah, we'll see how he goes. But anyone that can get 17 touches in a quarter and a half with a bit of mid-time has to be considered. My M1 and M2 is still Laird and Oliver. So I've thought about dropping Laird, and he, to me, is expendable. With these two players, the magic number works against them, where, yeah, it's just the bigger guys fall a bit harder in the first few rounds, and then it stabilizes after, I don't know, the first 6 rounds, once all the rookies keep making money, just how the pricing system works. So, yeah, you definitely get him cheaper, but I do like the C and VC, the safest 2 options there. And I'm still a little bit confused about McRae and Steele, who we'll touch on. And they have Bont, so yeah, didn't see anything to sway me away from Bont. So I don't have McRae or Steele at the moment, but I am considering both. It's weird because in the preseason, like, should your opinion change of McRae and Steele based on preseason games? Probably not, but I think McRae, it's just hard to trust with Luke Beveridge. And Jack Steele, he's trimmed down a lot, so he looked really fit and he moved really well, but he didn't look like the old Jack Steele in the at the contest. So I'm a little confused on Steele, but I think I'm probably overthinking it with those two. So they're 2 I'm considering, but I would actually like to see them again because McRae I had best on ground, but you never know with Luke Beveridge. We'll see how that A team shapes up. So because they play the intra-club, so it's, McRae on one side, Bont on the other side. So we'll see what that looks like. And Libba was really good, so I can't see Libba being moved out of there. And Treloar played midfield, and Treloar was halfback last year, so it's another name in there, and threw in Daniel in there. It's just, we'll see how it goes. So they're 2 I'm considering. This player's gone up in ownership a lot. Apparently had 50 disposals in an intra-club, but was an A versus B side. Tom Green, so I think the numbers stack up with Green. I'm still concerned with how he finishes seasons, but the CBA should go up and the preseason has been really good. I think you have to remember last year, they hyped him up in preseason. He said he was ready to dominate the competition, and that lasted for about, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 7 weeks, and then he fell off. So maybe the hype's real this time, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But he's in for now. Now my M5, every year we have a fun pick. I'll reel them off. So a few years ago we had, I think when we started out, 2019, we had, I think it was Jack Steele. He tagged the whole year and broke out the next year. 2020 we had Bailey Smith. 2021 we had Tom Atkins. In 2022, we had Lipinski and Heaney. And sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't with these picks. But regardless, for now, we've thrown in Sam Berry. So I've been pretty big on him. I think he's a lock for other formats. But is his disposal good enough yet? But yeah, he looked outstanding. And I'd be shocked if he went under low 100s. So like under 103. I'd be actually shocked if he didn't do that. So is there any point to picking this sort of player if he's not a keeper? I'm not sure, because a lot of people picked Taranto in 2021, and that was fine because they flipped him. He made 100k. So I don't know. We have more trades now, and I do love picking a fun pick. So I think that he's shaping up as our fun pick, but he's not locked. He could easily become McRae or Steele, and probably have to take money out of one of these mid prices down back and Laird to do that. So that's something we'll assess. But yeah, if you didn't see the Freo vs Crows game, I recommend watching it if you have any interest in Berry. But yeah, he's been outstanding this preseason. And excited to see how he goes. Okay, so the next three are pretty standard. I was considering Dom Sheed, but after watching him, I'll give him another go. The role was good, but I didn't love his game, so I'm more than happy to pass on Sheed now. I feel comfortable doing that. Phillips. So Hopper, Ashcroft, Phillips, I think that's been the same thing for 4 or 5 months now, or however long Supercoach has been open. Not that long, but regardless, that's been locked for a long time, and yeah, preseason of all three have been good. And then the bench. So I'm not too sure who we get here. So I've got Chesser for now. Got McVie. And I didn't love Oscar Baker's game. I think Scott and Bailey Williams will be the wing for the Bulldogs. So maybe if his name ran one, we'll see. But I didn't love his game. So the other one I have here is Jones. I think he plays because the Giants have injuries up forward. So he's probably going to play. He might play a small forward role, but apparently he's had a good preseason. So, yeah, I'm not too sure if he's going to make much money. He might be a fairly weak bench option. But yeah, I haven't really seen him play yet because the Giants didn't televise their game. So he's one to watch, I think. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like I'm missing a pick here, a rookie that I liked, but that's okay. The Rucks haven't changed. Big Jerome Whittler and Rowan Marshall, but we do have McAndrew. So I actually went back and watched this game just to watch McAndrew, and from what I saw, his around the ground work wasn't much, if any, but he was competitive in the ruck. Pretty tall dude, really tall. So I might get a few hit-outs to advantage, but yeah, they have a lot of injuries in their ruck department, so hopefully Sydney release a injury list with the timelines on their ruckman, and he can be at R3. I must say I do like having a loophole because I did lose points early not having a loophole. Like I think I straight captained Took last year, and he got double tagged by Ash and Cordwell. Whereas if I had a loop, that less chance of that happening. But yeah, Wits was fantastic. Very happy with the Wits, and I think Tim English, he was okay, but he's been a bit underdone. So I didn't think his performance was anything to write home about. And then Sean Darcy, well, he's playing without Jackson this week, so we're not quite sure what the split looks like week to week. So Riley O'Brien was smashed by Darcy, and then Nick Nat's got some issues with injury. And then Grundy's going to split with Gawn. We don't know what that split looks like week to week, but apparently it will be a bit more Grundy. But regardless, I'm very, very happy with Wits, and at 13%, I think that should be more, put it that way. More than happy to pick him. The only other option I'd consider is Radicallia. So it's Wits or Radicallia for me. I could see myself putting Radicallia R2, but it does feel a bit risky. So, yeah. Also, I'm kind of struggling to fill out the forward line. So Dunkley, Cogs, Rosie, and Taranto. So they're the top four. They have not changed. I think keeping an eye on Cogs, copped a knock, didn't play. It's always a concern. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. All you can say is hopefully he plays and plays well in the next game and he's all healed. So yeah, just monitoring that. The next player, McLean. If McLean was 230, 240k, I'd be tempted to fade him, but because he's so cheap and he'll be highly owned, I think we pick him. But yeah, his role was quite poor. Mostly a bit of half forward, very few CBAs, not many. And he spent the fourth quarter mostly on a wing. So yeah, the role, I'm not too sure, but he's had a great summer by the sounds of it. Just wasn't his day. And obviously he missed heaps and heaps of footy. So yeah, see how he goes over the next game. But I still think if he's named round 1, like I'm not even 100% sure if he's like a sub risk or best 22. But I think he'll be thereabouts. And yeah, he's much better than the performance he had in the intra club. So I definitely give him another chance. And yeah, if he's named round 1, regardless if he does poorly in the second game, I'll still pick him. Next player is Radicallia. So yeah, provides a bit of ruck cover. In terms of the other forward options, so there's Butters, Gordon, and Bruin probably. Flanders actually I don't think is the worst for 250k, even if his role isn't great, but he looks so good and I think he'll push into stoppage. But yeah, probably capped like low 80s average in that role. But yeah, Radicallia was okay. I think his scoring, I do feel he'll drop a really poor score here and there, like a sub 35 sort of score, but he can intercept a lot and spike with intercepts. So he does look comfortable down back, and his one-on-one was pretty good, and he reads the play well. Is he also, so no Jack Henry at the moment, so is he more the third tall or the second? Because they got SDK, I think is it Koladajny, I think is best 22. Geelong supporters can help me out there. And is Radicallia the third or the second? So I'm not too sure. People say Stewart's a key defender. He's not. He's a flanker. But yeah, I just find that strange when people say that. Regardless, Radicallia is in for now. Ruck cover and can spike with intercept. So we'll go him for now. And then on the bench, we have enough for Chandler is definitely one I like. He's been really good from what I've read for training reports, and he played really well. I reckon he kicked a few against the Saints. And then the other one is Fergus Green, I thought played really well, and I honestly think he's a shot at kicking the most goals for Hawthorn this year. Although it would probably be Bruce, but yeah, Mitch Lewis is injured and whatnot. So I feel comfortable with those two rookies, although I think there was no Bailey Fritsch. So what does that mean for Chandler? We'll see. But the other one I would go is Charlie Comben, but given his role and North as a team, because Comben might get a little bit of ruck minutes, so that's sort of interesting. But and he looks good, but the role is terrible, and I can see games where like he's completely unfieldable and looks like a slow burn. So he's probably a no for me. So that's what the team is at the moment. Click save. So yeah, I think Berry's sort of a little bit iffy just because he hasn't done it before and he's only third year, but yeah, I do love his game. I think he's going to take big strides this year, and it'll be a fun pick for us to ride. So might have to fit Bose down back, see how he pulls up, and then, you know, Goda is there as an alternative, and then maybe we get like another base rookie, have money on the bench here. So see how we go. Chuck the E's on everybody. But yeah, I think probably the changing things that can change. This 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 can change. And then I think Tom Green's probably locked at this point, but we'll see. So that's sort of that's my template at the moment. That's what I'm weighing up. So, yeah, maybe keep an eye on Bruin, but I think probably too expensive. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.